What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video, we got a bike that you don't normally see on the dyno here at Moore Mafia getting tuned. It's a cruiser, guys. Yeah, that's right. We do them every once in a while on the channel. We show something a little different, and here is a little different for you. This is a Suzuki M109R, pretty much brand spanking new bike, has just over 1,000 miles on it. Now, I can see you already, you're asking, why would anybody with a cruiser be trying to get more power out of it and make it faster? Well, he is here to make it a little faster, but the main thing he's concerned with about is the rideability. He's got aftermarket exhaust on it, and now that whenever it has aftermarket exhaust, the bike is just as you're trying to maintain speed, the thing doesn't want to go one speed. It'll go 45, 50, 60, 75, and it goes slower, but it won't just hold that 45 or 50 miles per hour. If you're trying to just hold it dead on, it won't do that. Throttle off, boom, throttle on, the thing kicks in, throws your head back, and literally the bikes ride terrible. They really do this with stock exhaust, but when you put aftermarket exhaust on them, they're way, way worse. This customer has the Freedom Performance exhaust system, and he also has a set of K&N drop-in air filters. Now, just installing those K&N air filters alone will make the bike run even worse. In other words, the airflow is too much, the bikes don't get enough fuel in them from the factory, and man, do they ride crappy after a few modifications. We're gonna fix it all today. Stay with us, guys. Here we go. Little quick tutorial on how you can remove your ECU on your M109R in order to get it flashed. First thing you want to do, remove the seat. I already popped the seat thing loose before I started the video. Then you're going to take this panel here and just sort of simply pull it back, and you also have to remove this push pin here. I did a few of these things prior to starting the video just for time's sakes to make it a little easier. Then with two hands you're going to gently pull this back. I already did all this too, makes it a little easier. See that little grommet, that thing there, they pull apart. You see there's also another one there, and the thing just simply pulls off, okay? Once you have this removed, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this cable here. Hopefully I can do it with one hand. Hold your breath. All right, there we go. Now this panel is completely removed, all right? We're gonna sit this to the side. And that right there, folks, is our ECU. You're gonna remove this bolt here, pull this panel back, slide that ECU out. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug one of the plugins now, just so you can see how you do it. Push in with your thumb, pull back, and it's a little tight, but just like that, it comes off. And then when you go to reinstall the ECU, it'll just push and lock back in. You'll hear the little click. That's the end of it. Go backwards for your installation, and boom, you got your ECU in and out really easy. The M109 is loaded up on the dyno. Everything is ready to go. This right here, guys, is the air-fuel ratio. Once we get this running, we want this thing to cruise around in the 13s or 14s, okay? Mid-13s is gonna be the smoothest. As the numbers go higher, the bike is reading lean. So 18.4, that's as lean as it will go. That's because the bike's not running, so of course it's not getting any gas. You'll see the RPMs here, you'll speed the speed here. Now, since the bike is so loud, I'm having to tell you all this stuff before we get going because you're not gonna hear me once I crank the bike up. But watch out, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna maintain speed on the dyno. I'm gonna put it about 45 or 50 miles per hour, typical cruising speed, and I'm gonna just try to hold that. Well, I'm gonna let off the throttle, and I'm gonna just barely go back to the throttle. Watch how jumpy the bike is. You already know all this stuff if you have the bike, but I just wanna show you kind of a before and after once we get this thing going, all right? Let me make sure you can see the bike good. We'll move you down just a smidge. So you saw the terrible performance, all the dips in the power, all the crazy lean spikes in the air fuel. Let me go in and show you what all we can do in the ECU of this thing. We can disable the O2 sensors so you don't need those. We can disable the exhaust valve so you don't need to buy a servo buddy. And we can disable the deceleration fuel cut. So when you let off the throttle from the factory, the injector's cut completely off, meaning the bike is getting no gas. Well, whenever you go to give it gas, boom, it resumes and it hits really hard. Well, when we disable that option, when you let off the throttle completely, the injectors keep spraying just a very fine little bit in order to keep a little bit of fuel in the system. Then when you go to resume throttle, there is no instant abrupt hit because it's not a throttle or a fuel in, fuel out. It's always fuel is there, so it's gonna continue to be smooth and it eliminates all that on-off throttle feel. We can also lower the fan temps, which is gonna help the bike run much cooler. Let me show you one more thing though. We're gonna be real quick with this because we've already done this in a video on the M109 before. You can see this thing, these are the secondary throttle plate openings. So you can see in 5th gear, when you go wide open, it stays wide open and then all of a sudden, boom, at 6,000 RPMs, it cuts back to 20% throttle. Yeah, that's right guys, there's a top speed rev limiter on this thing that holds this thing back, limits the top speed. We remove all that stuff, get rid of all that. You're gonna see it in the dyno graph here in just a second. We will show you what this thing is like before and after. The tuning is about finished on this M109R. This thing sounds and runs so much better, so much cleaner. And as far as fuel mileage goes, it shouldn't really lose too much fuel mileage. Now, granted, I say lose. You're like, gas is $5 a gallon, we don't want to lose gas mileage. We can't add fuel to the bike and make it run smoother and not make it burn a little more gas. But a lot of times, in most cases, they don't really lose fuel mileage because the bike makes much more power at the same spot that the bike doesn't have to work as hard. So where you were having to stay in the throttle to go, now you can ease off the throttle and the thing will still carry and maintain the same speed, meaning that it actually uses less gas. So overall, you're not gonna really complain about the gas mileage because the thing is gonna ride so much better. We've gained some good horsepower, we've gained some good torque in the low RPMs. On top end, these things are not crazy bad off. We actually have to richen them up. They make a little more power running super lean, but when they get going down the road and the air intakes are getting the most air, the bike is even leaner, which we can't show on the dyno. I guess you would say, accounting for the ram air effect on this thing. So let's try it out, see what we got, and go from there. like that, the M109 is finished. We got the final results pulled up on the screen. Take a look here. The blue line is our new, the red is our old. Look at our gains down low. So as soon as we crack into the throttle, 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs, you got an instant horsepower increase and big torque increase. And then as we go through the RPM range, where this thing really starts to stumble and fall on its face due to not getting enough fuel, you can see we've got huge gains there as well. We went from 88 foot-pounds of torque to 101. Big gains, horsepower gains up top, only a couple. We went from basically 105 to 106, which is not a lot. But like I said, the guy's not here to make more horsepower. He's here to make his motorcycle ride better. You can send in your ECU, get the same results. All you've got to do is go to moremafia.com, hit us up. There's an ECU flashing page there on the website. As soon as you get to that page, there's a video that'll pop up. Watch that video. That explains all the details for what you need to do to send in the ECU to get it flashed by us. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Welcome to the party. If you're regular, smash that like button. You know the drill. Check us out at moremafia.com. Adios, guys. He just got back from a little test ride. I finally got a customer that's not scared to talk on the camera. What did you think, man? Is it different or what?
Man, it's a lot different. First gear, I had no power when I bought you the bike. I feel like it's 100% better in power, and then when I shift in the second, it don't jump like it was jumping before. It's a smooth transition in the second and in the third, and it just pulls. I'm telling you, it feels a lot better. It idles better.
Cool, man. Thanks for giving. Give him a thumbs up in the video, guys. Give him a shout out. Let him know how much you appreciate his response. Maybe he'll be able to comment on the YouTube video too after he gets home to take it for a couple 100-mile spin. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.